about for stem and leaf plot. Answering to your questions, the first question is like, how is your main function organized? The main function is organized in a way that it reads data from a text file and generates a stem and leaf plot from the data and allows the user to choose the files. Okay. Read file function. The read file function is used to read the file in the given path. And moving on to the stem plot function. The stem plot function uses to design a stem and leaf plot using a list of integer. It creates an empty dictionary to store the stem and leaf. It loops through each number in the data, calculates the stem and leaf using divmod method used here. Switch case. The switch case function allows the user to choose which file to read from. It first creates a dictionary where keys are cases and values are file path. It then generates the file path from the dictionary using the case provided by the user. While loop repeatedly asks for user input and calls switch case with the user's input until user enters exit to quit the entire code. Moving on to the next question. How does your program automatically determine how many digits the stem and leaf should have? In the program, the stem and leaf plot is created with assumption that the stem is tens place and leaf is ones place. This is done using the divmod method mentioned here, where divmod method gives quotient as well as the remainder. The quotient is taken as stored in stem and the remainder is stored in leaf. This code, max digit is the number of digits in the larger number in the data. Stem place is then calculated as 10 to the power of max digits minus 1, which defines where to split each number into stem and leaf. This method automatically determines which is stem's place and which is leaf's place. Moving on to third question. Show the loops where you print out the stem and leaf plot and briefly explain how it works. The stem and leaf plot is printed out in a stem plot function here in the for loop using an sorted method. Okay, the loops through stem. Okay, the stem loop iterates over each stem in the stem plot dictionary, which is stored in the stem plot. The sorted function is used to sort the stems in ascending order, and for printing each stem and leaf, it prints the stem followed by its leaf. The leaves are sorted in ascending order using the sorted function, converted to strings using the map function, and then joined into a single string separated by spaces using join method. This loop effectively points out a stem and leaf plot where each line corresponds to stem and its leaf. The stem and leaf are printed in ascending order, and the leaves for each stem are also printed in ascending order. Moving on to the final question. The data files provided are very friendly. How would you design a data file to confound your program? The program assumes that the data in the text files are integer, with each integer on a new line. To confound the program, we could design a data file that violates the below few assumptions, but the below mentioned are the assumptions only. First is multiple values per line. Instead of having each integer on a new line, we could use multiple integers on the same line separated by commas or spaces. Empty lines are extra white spaces. Include empty lines are lines with extra spaces in the file. And negative numbers or zeros. Include negative numbers or zeros in the file. And last assumption is non-assumption is that non-integers valued. We could have included non-integers values in the file, such as floating point numbers or string.